Hi there, Julie Russo here, creator of Structures of Equality, where we're making sense of number stories. If you're new to structures, they're a reading comprehension tool that enhances students' understanding of word problems. Before we get started, make sure you remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post weekly videos with actionable tips. Don't forget to ring the bell so you're notified when they're available. When I began my work with Structures of Equality, I leaned heavily on Singapore, math, and also CGI problem types that are listed at the bottom of your screen. And what I realized was there was a ton of problem types, and sometimes students and teachers became overwhelmed with the quantity of problem types that were offered in CGI. So I analyzed several of the problem types, I think it's 8 problem types, and realized that of those, they all could be really described as putting things together or decomposing a thing into parts. And that's where I came up with the parts equal total structure of equality. So today we're going to look at how to introduce a parts equal total structure of equality. The first thing I like to do with students is to present a story without values in it. So we look at the story as a story, no values in it. That way the kids aren't jumping to solve like they like to do. So this particular story says there were blank students on the playground. Some more students show up. There are now blank students. There's not even a question on that in that story. It's just a story. So we start there. Because remember, what I discovered was that it's all about reading comprehension. The students are struggling to understand what the story is asking them to do. So let's present the story without a question or without values. When I present a story, I also ask students to read the story 2 times in their brain. We can buddy read, we can also choral read, but I want to give them an opportunity to read it 2 times. Sometimes I have to read the story more than once or twice to understand what the story is asking. So I'd start by asking, does the story have characters? And they look at me funny when I ask that because they're not used to that in a math class. And it does, yes, there's students in this story. Where does the story take place, or what's the setting? It's on the playground. Does the story have an action or maybe a verb? Well, we have kids coming in or kids showing up. That's important. What's the thing or item in the story that's being composed or decomposed? What are we counting? We're counting students in this story. Here's the fun one. What's the math main idea? The story describes 2 groups of students coming together to form a total. You see how I did that with my hands? 2 groups of students coming together to form a total. Then I would say to the students, we can map this story out using a parts equal total structure of equality. And then I would draw the total bar to represent the students, and I would draw the 2 parts bars to represent the 2 students that were there and the students that showed up. After we did that, I'd say, structures of equality have 3 important elements. If you've been following along with me, you know what they are. They have labels, they have values, and they represent equality. The structures of equality help us understand the relationships that are occurring in the story. And then I would ask the students from that point, after we've done all that work, to go back and retell the story using the drawing. If they can do that, then they've internalized the story that's occurring, the relationships that are occurring in the story, and they can go on to solve. If you'd like to explore this idea more, you'll find links to this resource in the description below. I'm always open to new ideas, so if there's another resource you'd find helpful, leave me a comment and let me know.